All right, we'll go back to one of the big stories for this weekend, without a doubt, and that comes from the order by the Constitutional Court that the elections, the local government elections, that is, must be held by no later than the 1st of November this year. You might remember the IEC went to the Constitutional Court to ask for a postponement. That application was dismissed, and now we continue with our reaction. Let's bring in from the opposition benches, COPE's spokesperson, Bloem, who joins us via our video link. He's live to us from the Capitol this morning. And Bloem, it's great to see you. Thanks for making time. I mean, you have already mentioned that you welcome this ruling by the Constitutional Court. So let us in on what campaigning for COPE looks like for the weeks ahead.
Good morning, Ayanda, and the viewers. No, we must say, Ayanda, that this constitutional ruling is a victory for the constitution of our country and for the judiciary. We have said many a times that we are ready to go to these elections because the people on the ground are really struggling. They are hungry for change. People are looking forward to this elections. That's why we are saying that under very difficult circumstances, but we are doing this. We have said, Ayanda, that COVID-19 have changed the whole system. It's an abnormal situation. But we must respect our Constitution. The Constitution is saying after each and every 5 years, there must be local government elections, there must be national elections. So we are a law-abiding party, and that's why we have prepared ourselves. Our people on the ground, our candidates are ready to go into this elections very positive, and we want to make a change in our municipalities, Ayanda.
Without a doubt, and I'm sure you'll agree, Dr. Bloem, that these elections will be like no other, no less because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Do you reckon that you'll be able to campaign effectively without being able to hold large gatherings with more than 50 people, at least legally speaking?
Ayanda, I have already said that it's an abnormal situation that the country finds itself in. But we must make the best out of it. There is now a new way of doing things through social media. We can't meet physically, doing door-to-door, but we are trying our level best. During this year, we have not sit back and say that coronavirus here, coronavirus there. We have prepared ourselves. We went out to people. We communicated with people on social media through Newzroom Afrika and all other platforms where we can reach our people. That's what we are doing. That's why we are saying we are ready. We are not going to sit back and cry in a corner. Let us do our best to change the situation on the ground. Ayanda, as you know, that almost all municipalities have collapsed in the country. People are struggling to get water. There is load shedding all over the country. Now, we want to be part of that change. We want to have presence in almost all the municipalities where we are contesting. We are ready.
Sure. As if uncertainty until this point hasn't been enough, it almost appears that even after the order by the Constitutional Court yesterday, there's still a level of uncertainty around whether or not that order gives a window for all political parties essentially to amend their candidate lists. We know that's a big problem for the ANC specifically. You've spoken out quite strongly about the IEC reopening that process. How great a risk do you reckon that process being reopened is to the integrity of the election itself?
Ayanda, the ruling, that judgment was very clear that the IEC must, if possible, organize a voter registration weekend. The order is not talking about opening up for new candidates to register new candidates. That's how we as the Congress of the People understand it. People must not come with their own interpretation to say that no, we are going to have new candidates now registered. No, the judgment is very clear. It is only for people who really want to register, to participate in these elections. We believe, and the Constitutional Court was very clear, it must be a free and fair elections. That's why we are very clear on the ruling. There's no such a thing. The Constitutional Court have not said we must now open up again to register and pay deposits for new candidates. That's how we understand it, Ayanda.
Yeah, and it's important to, I guess, to emphasize that that's your understanding, because to be fair, the order itself actually doesn't say anything about the candidate list itself. And maybe that's why there's been so much speculation about what ought to happen next. Let's say there is a window for the amendment of the candidate list. Is that something you would oppose?
We will definitely oppose it, Ayanda, because it will be totally unfair, Ayanda. 2016, the NFP was late and did not register their candidates. They were kicked out of that elections. 2011, the IFP, some of their candidates were not registered. Now, if we are allowing this opening to register some of the new candidates, it will be totally unfair. You can recall, Ayanda, that the NFP have forgot to pay their prescribed fees deposit to the IEC, and they were kicked out. Now, if we are saying we open up again, it will be totally unfair and in fact unconstitutional to open that thing, because the IEC have already said this is the closing date and no other date. The Constitutional Court have not said that there must be new candidates. That they have said people can still register if the IEC, if it is possible for the IEC to open up that thing, and they can manage to open up a weekend for voter registration.
Dennis Bloem, thanks very much for your reaction to this important story. Really do appreciate it. Dennis Bloem is ConCourt's national spokesperson.